What's up, guys? I'm Olivia Duesenberg.
I'm Maddie Steele.
I'm Hannah Causey.
I'm Maddie Hamilton.
And Stephanie Barber. And we're going to be talking about the zero-sum myth.
Our definition is believing that trade requires a winner and a loser. People often misunderstand how economic value works. Your outlook on economic value affects whether you view free enterprise as a zero-sum game or a win-win game.
Okay. Believers in a zero-sum myth assume that every trade will result in one person winning out and one person losing. They think that the existence of competition in a market must mean that each competitor is trying to get the better end of every deal. The results are therefore win-lose every single time, and here's what that would kind of look like.
This is disgusting. So over water. Ooh, I want that. Let's trade.
I don't want to trade.
I want
my
that.
smoothie.
No, I feel like God wants me to have that smoothie.
But
We have to trade.
I don't
Okay.
want to trade.
Thanks.
Okay.
However, Richard explains how not every game is win-lose. Some games are actually win-win. In free trade, everyone is allowed to choose whether they want to participate or not, depending on if they think their exchange will result in greater happiness for themselves.
The labor theory of value is another reason why people believe that trade is a win-lose situation. This is when people relate what the cost is to produce an object determines its economic value.
Oh my gosh, I was up all night making this paper airplane.
Wow.
And look, it's like beautiful, it's perfectly proportioned, and you know what? It cost me $50, so I really think you need to pay me $50 for this paper airplane.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about paper airplanes that much.
Are you sure? I mean, look, it's like perfectly proportioned, it's really pretty.
I know, even though you put like hours into making that, like I'd rather buy a smoothie or something than a paper airplane. I only have $13. I think I'm just gonna leave you with that.
If this trade would have worked, this would have been a win-lose situation because Stephanie didn't want to buy the airplane, but she had to if it was for $50. And if this kept going on in this society, it eventually would be a loss for the entire economy. And here's why. In a society that worked this way, producers could make whatever they want, spend as much money as they want, ignore what other people want, hire lazy and lying workers, and still get fully compensated because people would be forced to buy their products for whatever price they wanted. A forced market based on the labor theory of value would lead directly to a world of underquality products. But if the developer can't make you buy his product, he's going to be more careful to produce things that people will freely buy. He's going to look for ways to set up a win-win situation. He will instead think of what other people want rather than what he wants to make and put it at a price that people are willing to pay. Even if he is selfish, trying to make more money, he will be directed toward meeting other people's needs. He will finally get sales, and people will actually get the stuff they want for how much they want it, which is a win-win for both of them.
The zero-sum theory states that trade requires both a winner and a loser. However, the subjective theory states that everyone's a winner. The subjective theory states what individuals are willing to give up for another object. The value of a good in this theory is created by transferring ownership to someone else without modifying it. There is value in a good because of self-interest. As we have learned in class, I will not personally trade with someone if I do not want the object that they are trying to trade for, which was shown with the smoothie and the water bottle. Because Maddie wanted the smoothie, she acted out of her self-interest to trade with Hannah to get that smoothie, where Hannah was left as a loser because she was left with a water bottle. So therefore, it's not wrong when humans act out of self-interest. In fact, it's human nature to do so. It would only make sense for someone to trade for something that they want. It wouldn't make sense to trade for something you don't want. And so according to Richard, early Christians believed value was subjective and it depended on their own interests and ideas, tastes, and feelings. Since personal interest does play a role in the value we place in objects, it affects the trading system. If I do not agree an item is worth the amount shared, then I will not go through with that trade. The reason this theory can be refuted is because a free exchange can be thought of as a win-win, but only because rules are established beforehand. These rules can be established through contracts with people when they think it will lead to a win-win situation, when in actuality it does not guarantee this. In a free market, no one is forced to participate in a win-win situation if they choose not to be. Ultimately, individuals place values in the ideas and goods out of personal interest. Because of that, when people take part in trading, there's an opportunity for a win-win situation because both parties are in favor of the exchange that took place, as we showed in these past demonstrations.
So I have this climbing card, and that's not really my thing. Does anybody want this?
Oh my goodness. I work at a climbing gym and I just need some new gear. Would you want like
No, I don't want
I
that
have left
shoe.
Wait, I want that shoe. Wait, would you take this laptop for that card?
Sure.
Sweet, thanks so much. Okay, now will you? Can I
Yeah,
have the shoe, please?
totally. You
Does
can
anyone
have
I
want
want
this
that
laptop?
laptop. I really like those
Okay, you can have it because there's too
I'm
much pink on
over
it.
this
There's too
phone.
much pink. Thanks.
Ah, nice.
Woo!
I'm so happy.
Yay!
Yay!
There are 4 economic principles that can disprove the zero-sum myth: opportunity cost, comparative advantage, incentives, and choices. The definition of opportunity cost is the value an individual sacrifices to make the product for less than the other has to sacrifice. The consumer wins because they choose to buy the product for less, and the producer wins because they're making money off of the consumer. So the definition of comparative advantage is that you can make a product for less than another person. So if you sell it for less, you're probably going to make more money. So for example, if you sell 30 newspapers for $5 and another competitor sells 10 newspapers for $10, you end up making $150, which is a lot better than just making $100. And then incentives are something that's given in order to receive something from another, and that's a win-win because you're actually gaining something from buying whatever it is that you wanted. And then finally, choices. Choices are made to decide if we want to trade or not. So with the whole free trade concept, we're free to decide, hey, I want to trade for this, or no, I really don't want to trade for that. Just like in the game, I didn't really want Stephanie's left shoe or Hannah's left shoe, and but I did want my phone, so I traded and then eventually got my phone, and we all were happy.
Well, before we get started, you should know that there are 5 different styles of conflict. My Shaolin temple style defeats your monkey style.
Can we go? I have a lot of work to do.
Nope, this is important. Okay, the first style is lose-lose.
What's the next one?
Just hold on, please. Okay, if we do lose-lose, neither of you gets what you want. Do you understand? You would both lose. Now I need to ask you, do you want to pursue a lose-lose negotiation?
Can we just skip to whatever number 5 is, win-win or whatever?
Win-win is number 4, and number 5 is win-win-win. The important difference here is with win-win-win, we all win. Me too. I win for having successfully mediated a conflict at work. Okay, so this is the disputed poster. Now, one at a time, I want you to express your feelings using I emotion language and no judging or you statements.
I got this poster for Christmas, and I feel I want to see it every day. It makes me feel like the babies are the true artists, and God has a really cute sense of humor.
Come on, seriously, that?
I don't like looking at it. It's creepy and in bad taste, and it's just offensive to me.
Okay, stop. Let's see if we can't just brainstorm and find some creative alternatives that are win-win.
Win.
Yes, thank you, Pam. How about Angela makes the poster into a t-shirt which Oscar wears. That way he can never see it, and whenever she looks at Oscar, she can see it. Win, win, win.
No.
No.
Okay, well, brainstorm. Own the solution.
How about I leave it up?
How about she takes it down?
How about Angela can keep it up on Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Okay, that is called a compromise, and it is style 3, and it is not ideal. To sum up, win-win, make the poster in a t-shirt. Win-lose, take the poster down. Compromise, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the answer is make the poster into a t-shirt. Win-win.
Win.
Fine.
But
It is done.
While that office clip was humorous, it actually has a lot of good points that are brought out. Michael Scott mentions making the poster into a t-shirt, and while that's meant to just be funny and kind of off the wall and not practical, the idea of creating a win-win, and in this case win situation, is what we're actually always going to want to look for, because whether we're in a leading role in a business or in a company, we want a situation in an environment that creates an uplifting and positive environment around them. And so whether we're a teacher, we look for ways when we can be a win-win to all the students in the ways that we can cater to what they need, because it's all give and take. We sometimes we might have to give something to have other people enjoy their time more, or to find success in themselves. Sometimes that will result in us giving something up. But ultimately, when we are able to give something up, or when we all do come to an agreement, it creates that win-win situation, which is ideal and exactly what we're looking for.
There's a lot of different theories about where economic value comes from, but Christians believe that the price of goods does not depend on the nature, but on the extent to which they serve the needs of mankind. Richard says, we're talking about economic value, not ultimate value. Your ultimate value is in the eyes of God, and that's not the same as economic value. Thank you.
So that's the zero-sum game myth, which is the belief that trade requires a winner and a loser. But as you've seen, that it can be two winners. We're all winners. So thanks for watching.